Ramadan starts, make sure to look around for the right company to serve you everything you need to know about what's happening around you. That's why you need VOP this morning, because we will climb this far to give you a voice in what's going on, from news, reviews, politics and the economy, sports and even entertainment. Join us weekdays 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. right here on VOP TV. VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
It's Ramadan. It's the season of sharing and caring. As Muslim faithfuls all over the world pray and fast, may peace reign all over, especially in troubled regions. Allah's blessing to us all. May the supplication of every sincere heart be heard. Ramadan Kareem, from all of us at Voice of the People Television.
A rather beautiful Tuesday morning right here on VOP Television, and we welcome you. I am Moses Humphrey. Welcome on board.
I'm actually smiling because I had a splendid night rest yesterday because of that rain. Yes, the shower. No, seriously speaking, like yesterday I was like, oh, thank you God for this rain. I wish it to continue to be this way. But all the same, you're welcome to VOP this morning.
A very good morning to you this beautiful Tuesday morning. David Edwin is my name, and I'm super excited to be here because, I know that you're there, and it's a reason for us to always be here. I mean, more like we don't have a choice at this point not to be here to serve you the best way we can serve you. And this morning, definitely we're giving you every single information the best way that we can. What are we talking about this morning? But maybe before that, let me quickly ask Moses. So it looked like it drizzled, not rain. I don't know where it's rain from.
The shower.
Before that time, what was the weather like?
Well, funny enough, it didn't rain where I was.
Oh!
That's what I said. When she saw
It didn't rain where I was. It was windy.
Yes.
It was really cool. But you see, the thing is, when I stepped out later, someone came in actually from, someone went out and came back in. And then said, oh, the street looked wet.
Oh.
The street looked wet. 2 streets away, it rained. And then another, like 2 other streets away from that, it didn't rain. And I was like,
the rain
was sparsely distributed. But it was really windy. And, I don't know if that aided the sleep, but...
It does. Can't see how I'm smiling. Exactly. Oh, okay. Yeah, the other day it rained in you people's. I think you guys' zone. It didn't actually get to mine.
There's
but I'm
another
happy.
thing that actually kept me up last night.
All right.
It wasn't about the rain. Now it was about the children that were released.
Oh.
Yeah.
Rescued, released, released, rescued, whichever one we choose to use.
Choice of English.
And going through social media, look at that. I said something the other day. I talked about what they wore when they came out from that captivity. And, Nigerians are talking about how quick it must have been for the government to sew a uniform for them. These are questions on the minds of a lot of Nigerians.
Exactly. How is the measurement being
taken? And then for 137 of them, we've come to understand that they were released in batches. It wasn't like, they all came out at the same time.
Right.
So maybe the government of the day had a prior knowledge that this was going to happen, and preparations went into gear to ensure that they looked cleaner before the press. So those are some of the things that I kept my mind on.
And then I saw some headlines, not even headlines, some place where it was reported that ransom was paid.
Oh, well.
So
Is that government statement now?
nah, but well,
Well, the government has come out to say categorically that no ransom was paid. It was negotiations. You know, they spoke to them. Well, that's what government is saying.
oh well, maybe it's one of the reasons why we have a talking point for today, which is federal government invites Sheikh Gumi for questioning over links to bandits.
And also on our radar this morning, SCBN approves a $10,000 sale to Bureau de Change operators at 125 to a dollar, yes. 125, 1,250. Oh, why am I? Is it because it's money? Right, I'll take that again. Okay, Central Bank, the CBN, approves $10,000 sale to Bureau de Change operators at 1,251 naira per dollar. 1,251.
All right, so these are the topics. Yeah, these are the stories we will focus on. But of course, we'll start off with the newspaper review, where we'll look at stories from the dailies. We'll try to dissect them, and we'd like for you to be part of that process. You can as well join us via YouTube. It's Voice of the People TV. That's what VOP stands for, by the way.
Yeah.
Voice of the People TV. So be part of the conversation on YouTube. You can also join us on other social media platforms. We are at VOP TV Live on all social media platforms. Instagram, X, name it. Everything at VOP TV Live. So here we go now as we head into, come with us as we head into the papers today.
Zara.
Come on. Come and help me. You can sell her now. Be able to break our fast in this village. Ramon, have this. This is what you have to do. You understand? This is what you have.
Nazara.
Ramon,
Oh, don't worry. Things don't matter. It can be wiped off with just one wash.
Okay, thank you.
Zara!
It's Ramadan. It's the season of sharing and caring. As Muslim faithfuls all over the world pray and fast, may peace reign all over, especially in troubled regions. Allah's blessing to us all. May the supplication of every sincere heart be heard. Ramadan Kareem, from all of us at Voice of the People Television.
All right, welcome back. Let's just dive into the papers and, of course, know what the headlines right at the front page of the newspapers are saying. But before we do that, let's also let you know that we have with us this morning in the studio Mr. Lawal Ekudayo, who is an educationist, a public affairs analyst, and also a farmer. Well, he definitely will be telling us if this rain that is being rationed from heaven affected him as well. Very good morning to you, sir.
Good morning. Good morning.
All right, let's get into the papers almost immediately. And we're going to kick it off with the Daily Independence, where the banner headline here reads, Federal government denies paying ransom to free 137 Kaduna school children. The subwriter there says, security agencies questioning Gumi on bandit activities. At the top of the nameplate, above the nameplate, I beg your pardon, you'll find another headline there that reads, Edo Chief Judge reviews Schweib's impeachment probe panel. Editors express concern over growing insecurity across country. Subwriter there reads, urge military to speak out on abduction of editor. And then there is another major pictorial there right at the front page of the Daily Independent, where you find Oliver Aluoba, Group Managing Director, CEO, United Bank of Nigeria, that's UBA, Awele Ilumadu, co-founder, Tony Ilumelu Foundation. Also, it's a major pictorial there. Just by the side of that pictorial, you find some headline there, one of which reads, Tinubu okays infrastructure fund to fast-track project development. FEC, that's the Federal Executive Council, approves 2% quota investment fund for youths. Zongeru Dam, CLO asks Tinubu to direct payment of 1.1 trillion naira to Samboro community. Zulum names 168 aides, 104 chairmen, board members of agencies, commissions. TET Fund doles out 23 billion naira for research funding across Nigeria. Still on the Daily Independent, another headline there below the pictorial, the major pictorial there, you find this headline that reads, no hiding place for fleeing Binance regional manager, says federal government. Subwriter there confirms escape, says Interpol working to rearrest suspects. Another one reads, another subwriter there reads, we have arrested personnel responsible for his custody. And then the final headline there, right there at the front page of the Daily Independent, is Senegal on the verge of electing its youngest president ever. These are the headlines right there at the front page of the Daily Independent. Mr. Lawal, you want to just pick one or two of this to react to, Mr. Military?
I would like to react to that TET fund giving out 23 billion for research across the country. Actually, that is very, very, very small.
Oh, really?
Well, at least isn't it a step in the right direction?
It's a step in the right direction, but what type of step? When you take a very, very tiny step,
it's billion naira for research.
It's very, very
It's
small.
small.
Yes.
Why
Because
so? How
that
so?
that 23.
What are the parameters that
Very
you
good.
can, you know?
When it comes to research,
Right.
we say across.
Across
That
the
means you are talking about all the areas of education,
Okay.
science, art, commercial, education. Now each one is now subdivided again and subdivided until you get to the lowest. So you see, it's so spread across that if you put that, it's like you put a drop into an ocean. And that is one of the reasons that is causing, that is underdeveloping this country. Because we are not putting money into research.
But this is money being put into
It's
research.
23, that's why I'm saying it's so small, it's like putting a drop
But
into
at
a
least-
mighty
at least-
ocean. You won't notice.
Okay,
It's
can
a,
you-
it's,
But
it's
the
a
saying,
step.
I thought the saying was little drops make an ocean.
That is
So
a
this is
proverb.
a
It's
drop.
not. It's not. It's not in
now,
reality.
as an
It's a
educationist,
proverb.
as an
It will take you
educationist.
like billions and billions and billions of years before you can achieve a mighty ocean.
As an educationist, can you help us through with what it would cost to do the minutest of research?
You'll be talking about trillions.
Okay, so what are the things? What are the things a researcher should look at?
One, when you are researching, you read a lot. You get it? That's the first thing. You read a lot. First, you must look at what others have done about it. That is where you want to research.
Pick a particular.
Okay, I'll pick. Let me pick
elaborate.
the one that is actually really causing problem in this country. The major problem, that is agriculture.
Okay.
Now, I want to research into agriculture. Like I want to develop a corn that is resistant to a particular disease or some diseases. So I want now I now start my research. First, I must look at what others have done across the world on that area. Some people have done research on it. Have they not done research on corn?
And how
on
do you
the
do
disease?
that? You
Then
go
before
on the internet.
not the internet.
You travel around the world.
You have to. Not the internet. You see, it's what you have done that you put on the internet.
Okay.
It's what you have done. And the internet is so close that everybody cannot put everything inside. That's why you see sometimes they put abridged something in it. So I have to, when I get, like maybe Fina did a research that is similar to this, I have to see her research. I have to see her variables, see everything. I have to ask her, and I have to see whether it's something I can consult when I start my own research.
Okay.
So I can be making calls to her and consult this is how far I've gone. So doing that, I can pay her for consultancy.
Okay.
Then I must have an experimental farm.
Okay.
You get it? So in which I will have to be putting this thing to see whether what I am doing is actually in the right direction.
Yielding.
So when I'm doing that, I need to get materials. You can see, I'm talking about corn only. If I want to research into, let me say, the production of milk by cows, let me say, okay, this Fulani, yes, man, I want to see whether their cows, I can modify their cows to produce milk, commercially. Then I'll go into the research. How did they do it in Holland? Do we have the same thing in another place? I will have to travel there. I will have to collect samples. I have to carry out research on my own. I have to do this. So you see, I traveled a lot.
Okay.
So you can see, it's so small. But it's a good thing.
It's a good step.
Yeah, it's a good step.
Thank you. That was what I was. Because if one is doing something in the right direction, it's only appropriate that we acknowledge and say, yes, congratulations, you're doing something in the right direction.
But it's not enough.
Oh, okay.
All right, then let's go to the Punch newspaper now. The banner headline here talks about the Binance chief. The headline reads, FG contacts Interpol. Soldiers held over detainees escape. Fleeing crypto guru holds British, Kenyan nationalities. Escaped via Middle East airliner. NSA office.
Wow.
Escape shocks security agencies. Detained soldiers risk disciplinary action. Binance supports probe. All right. Interesting one, I would say.
Really?
Well, we'll come back to that one. Let's take some other headlines from the Punch still. FG deducts 415 billion naira state allocations for debt servicing. CBN directs BDCs to sell dollar at 1,269 naira. FG threatens Gumi with arrest, condemns reckless statements. Ondo Speaker, 15 lawmakers endorse Aidatiwa's governorship ambition. And then we have Ondo farmers protest alleged farmland takeover by Chinese firm.
Wow.
Underneath that one, we have Igboho Ghanaians on warpath over assassination allegation. Kaduna hosts freed pupils, 28 kidnapped in fresh attack. Nigerians may spend over 725 billion naira on 2024 Hajj. Now, these are the headlines as compiled by the Punch newspaper. Lawal, first off, I know you're not a security personnel, but how would you react to, first off, the arrest, the manner in which the Binance officials were arrested? They were invited to come to Nigeria and explain certain things, and they did. They came into the country and they were detained. Is that the appropriate thing to do in the first place? Is that to me looks like deceptive way of carrying out things. You invite them, they come, and then you detain them since February 26th. So it was going to be a month in detention for, well, it is a month in detention.
Yeah.
So it's 26, right?
So 26.
Yeah.
It's a month in detention for the other guy. I can't remember his name now, but it's now a month less, a day less for Nadeem Anjarwalla, the James Bond. In this, I use that loosely in this escape from detention movie. Well, the invitation, I have a problem with that, and the fact that the federal government had to rush to high courts to get orders to continue detaining them while investigation is ongoing, and then the fact that there was an intention or an order that Binance release transactions of Nigerians that goes into about $26 billion that has passed through the organization. And the organization has been accused of aiding and abetting terrorist financing, basically, and not paying taxes as well, according to FIRS. All of this put together now leaves one to ask the question: how did this individual, who is in detention, well, we do understand that he has access to telephones, he has access to a lot of other things.
So what?
He's in a luxurious place. He just didn't have the freedom to move around by himself.
Yeah.
How did this individual come in contact with his Kenyan passport while his British passport is still with the Nigerian government, which was the passport he came into the country with? All right? The British passport still with the Nigerian government, but then how did he have that passport on him? The answer is no, because that's what security agencies are telling us, that he didn't have that Kenyan passport with him. I mean, he has dual nationality, so yes, he didn't have the Kenyan passport with him. Now, he was able to get it while he was being, escorted to the praying ground. He made a run, and not just making a run, he made a run out of the country. There is that possibility that he's no longer in Nigeria, because we hear that there is a possibility. In fact, I don't think government is sounding like there's a possibility. They sound like they are certain that he left the country via the Middle East airline.
They have involved the Interpol. So
Yes, so they are certain that he's out of the country.
Yeah.
What does this portend for Nigeria? What does this portend for the case in question? What does this even tell you about our security apparatus?
Bad image. That's the word.
One word.
Yes, bad image. We keep telling the world. We keep, washing our dirty linings before the
But
world.
is it abnormal for people to escape detention like this?
See, I was watching a reporter, a guest on CNN, and she was mentioning countries that do not obey rule of law, and they mentioned Nigeria as number second. She mentioned 3 or 4. She mentioned Nigeria. She mentioned one country. She mentioned Nigeria that they don't obey rule of law. Now, you are inviting, that's our system in Nigeria. You are taking it outside again. You are inviting people from another country to your country to come and explain. They say, well, let's come. And then when they go to Nigeria, you arrest, you detain them. After you detain them, you are now doing investigation. Do you think they don't have anything to do? That means, why do you invite them in the first place when you don't have enough evidence on ground? Why do you detain them when you don't have enough evidence to detain them? Do they have their businesses out there they are doing? They have their work out there they are doing. So you now want to keep them here for how many years? For the next 3 years while investigation is going on? It doesn't make sense.
Just 1 month. And just 1 month.
No, they have not said they are concluded, and they are saying investigation is still going on. It doesn't make sense.
Now,
are you detained there for 3 days? Why do you have to detain them when you don't have enough information?
Well, the investigation being carried out also revealed that certain Nigerians used that platform to finance terrorism, and then a list came out, names. Do you think that in any way may have contributed to the escape of this individual?
I think that is one of the reasons why the guy had to escape, because it's like they just detain them
certain
without,
individuals,
on hand,
who are afraid that their information may come out, because one of the reasons he was detained, or they were detained, is so that they don't tamper with records. That's one of the reasons. So they don't go back and tamper with records.
That's funny.
So now with this escape, do you feel that those records may be tampered with, and then the names that Nigeria was looking at, holding responsible for terrorism financing, may be altered?
See, a company, an organization as big as...
Oh, well, we're dwelling too long on this one. Let's quickly get into another topic. Another paper.
I thought we would talk about that farmer protest.
Oh, you want to talk about
what
that?
is about?
Go ahead.
Just like a minute, 30
about
seconds.
minutes. Yes, please.
See,
30 seconds. Yeah.
Foreigners are taking over investments of Nigerians, citizens. Is totally unacceptable. It's not good for development, because we are still coming back to the same problem of repatriation of dollar. We want to be bringing it in. This is when they set it up. They are going to do it to the benefit of their country. Why is Nigeria, I've said it many times, why is Nigerian government not going over to China to buy land and be planting rice and be bringing the rice down to Nigeria? Why are you not going to Taiwan? Get a land in Taiwan. That's Nigerian government. Get a land in Taiwan, plant rice there, and bring the produce there. Why are you always telling these people to come to Nigeria and take over? Chinese is coming to Nigeria to use the land for cocoa farming. Cocoa is our mainstay here now. Cocoa is what we use in building so many universities and whatever in this country. And these farmers are already established. Why are you not developing them to the level in which we were before? Why are you telling Chinese coming to come and take over their land and destroy them? By the time you tell them to take over their land, those farmers will become useless and then they will be phased out. Before you know it, it's only foreign now that will be doing farming in Nigeria and will be at their mercy.
Oh, well,
it's totally wrong.
Interestingly, the wife of the president sometime last week said Nigerians should go into agriculture.
Exactly.
And I'm wondering which part of the farms this guy is going to go into. And of course, even the president and the minister has also come out to say that Nigeria will be going to mechanized farming. We'll wait to see all of that. All right, let's get into another paper.
Okay, the Vanguard newspaper this morning, the banner headline reads, NSA launches global manhunt as Binance official flees custody. We have the writers to be seeks support of international community. Nigerians says he escaped from lawful custody. Arrest security personnel. How Anjawala beats security. We want safety of our officers. Resolution of issues with Nigeria in Binance. And then we have above the nameplate.
Nigeria, that's according to Binance.
Oh, all right. Above the nameplate, a CBN slashes BDC exchange rate to 1,270 naira per dollar. Gumi quizzed over comments on kidnapping. Faye, Senegal's opposition candidate, wins presidency. That is on page 16 of the Vanguard newspaper. How Nigeria saved 300 billion naira to second Niger bridge bypass design. And that is from Omahi. NGE expresses concern over growing insecurity. Comments Governor Mba's revolutionary project in Enugu. And we have a major pictorial, and that is the freed Kuriga school children. We have so many of them there. Okay, and beneath that, or below that pictorial, Okama killing. Let displaced villagers return home. Niger Delta leaders beg Tinubu. Court acquits 3 NSAS protesters. Amnesty International demands release of others. And that is on page 10 of the Vanguard newspaper. LP convention to go ahead amid Abure NLC fights. And we have the last but not the least, creatures Finidi Eyes back-to-back wins as Super Eagle face Mali in Marrakesh. And those are the stories that made the headline on the Vanguard newspaper today. Mr. Lawale Kundayo, which one do you want to react to?
Can I react to that? You release.
Oh yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Now, so many children were kidnapped, and they were released. That's very, very unusual. It doesn't make sense to me. I've been thinking about it, and I could not get it right.
Why doesn't it make sense?
It doesn't make sense.
Why?
You see, they were abducted and they were released, and that is just like that.
Well,
I think they went for excursion. I think they went on excursion and they are coming back. Maybe I do use the word release. Maybe I use the word they were returned. I won't that word return has been paging on my. I mean, going around on my head.
What's the difference between release and return?
Release means that they were yes, they were incarcerated and they were then released. But return means that they went somewhere on excursion and they came back because you are
okay.
Because you are showing you want to tell me a case like that. We are not seeing the faces of those who perpetrate that evil. We only see those children as if they look at the way they are looking, as if they did nothing terrible happened. They are looking nice. They are looking okay now.
Okay.
Because what I'm saying, and we don't see the face of those who were arrested in connection to the abduction. We are just seeing the faces of the children as if it was just normal. They went on excursion, they missed their way, and they were found, and they came back home. Of such gravity, and we only see their faces on the faces of the children on media. We are not seeing the faces of the abductors, the criminals. If the soldiers could go to Okwama to because of just 12 soldiers, and people were, so many people are dying for it. What happened? These children are so many that they did not take them across the state. They were in the state, abducted in the state, and they were released. And we don't see the face of those who did it. So how did the federal government succeed in releasing, in getting them released?
According to Sheikh Gumi, they negotiated. They spoke to
That's
them.
what I'm saying. That is within the state. Thank you for using the word negotiated. They negotiated with them. They spoke with them to release them, and they gave them a good handshake for releasing them, or maybe even give them lovely gifts for releasing them back. Is that what you are telling us? So that they can do it in the next 2 days.
They have.
Some people already
they've kidnapped.
So we are saying the faces. Look at their faces. Look at the faces of the children. As if they're not. Do you think if your child, you have a child as young as that, and he was carried away by somebody she did not know, and she was kept in a very bad condition, she will come back, you will now see her looking so nice like that, as if she's been fed with a chicken and jollof rice every day.
All right then. Okay. Well, is there any other one you would like to respond to?
No, you want another one? You can go ahead.
Okay. I was thinking that we'll look at another story here, but I can't place my hand on it right now. But anyway, this is let's wrap up the newspaper review at this point. We must say thank you very much, Lawale Kundayo, but we'd like you to stay with us as we go into our major talking points. One of them this morning.
Federal government invites Sheikh Gumi for questioning over links to bandits. Details and more when we return after this quick break.
Hi, Zara.
Ramon, come and help me. You can sell her now. Be able to break our fast in this village. Ramon, have this. This is what you have to do. You understand? This is what you have.
Nazara.
Ramon, me haka. Gashi na bigyan lalace ka ba, Ramon?
Oh, don't worry. Things don't matter. It can be wiped off with just one wash.
Okay, thank you.
Zara.
Ramadan Kareem.
It's Ramadan. It's the season of sharing and caring. As Muslim faithfuls all over the world pray and fast, may peace reign all over, especially in troubled regions. Allah's blessing to us all. May the supplication of every sincere heart be heard. Ramadan Kareem, from all of us at Voice of the People Television.
Welcome back. It's still VOP this morning on Voice of the People Television. Before that break, we're about looking into the sermon of Sheikh Gumi. In response to Ahmed Gumi's remark regarding the actions of bandits in the nation, the administration of President Bola Tinubu of Nigeria claims to have invited the Islamic cleric residing in Kaduna. This was reviewed by Muhammad Idris, the Minister of Information and Orientation, during a Monday press conference at the State House in Abuja. Idris stated that Gumi was subject to the law and that the government had reason to call him in for interrogation. Report states that the cleric offered a dialogue with bandits who abducted about 287 school children and 137 as claimed by the Kaduna State government from Kruger Government Secondary and LEA Primary School in Chikun local government area of the state. All right, we still have with us in the studio Mr. Lawale Kundayo, who will be helping us to look into this and help dissect the matter. Mr. Lawale Kundayo, what do you make of this call by the federal government calling Sheikh Gumi to come for questioning? Do you think this call actually would have been done so many, let's say so many months or years ago, given the fact that even when the past administration was there, Sheikh Gumi was still there playing the role of an intermediary between bandits and the government?
I'll use the language that this governor used, the Oyo State governor used on state police. He said, waste of time. When you invite somebody for questioning, why are you inviting the person for questioning? Do you have something against the person or not? Those are the question now. If you invite him for questioning, you question the person. If you don't get anything, the person goes home. So why invite the person in the first place? The security operatives, you get what I'm saying, we are talking about. So if you have anything against anybody, we are not, the word questioning means a waste of time. It's a cover up. I suppose to have seen something like he's going to be he's been
arrested?
Yes.
Why would he be arrested? Is it a crime to negotiate between kidnapped victims or between the government and those terrorizing a nation? Is it a crime?
I'm not saying it's a crime. What I'm saying is...
So why would he be arrested?
No. What I'm saying is that I'm saying it on the part of the government. It's like they are making it a big news that they are doing something in the right direction. No. Why would you invite somebody for questioning? It's a waste of time. I'm coming. Wait, excuse me. I want to say something. Okay. It's invited. Why do you invite him for question? If you have evidence against him, you should arrest him. If you have no evidence against him, you should let him go. So why do you invite him for? What do you want to question him for?
Let's put this in perspective, all right? Now, we do understand that Sheikh Gumi has been speaking basically for...
since the past administration.
Yes, he's been speaking for the interests of bandits, letting government know that, look, using force is not the way to go. Using military arms, apparatus is not the way to go. Negotiation is the way to go. You know, he seems to have their ears. Now, I watched an interview where he talked about going into the forest, negotiating with these bandits. And, you know, he talked about how these bandits are aggrieved as a result of the fact that military aerial bombardments affected their wives and children. So now, out of anger, they are kidnapping, trying to create more unrest in the country. But my question here is, should Nigeria at this point be feeling sorry for these bandits, these individuals that have decided to live within the forest? Should Nigeria be feeling sorry for them that their family members were killed in an aerial bombardment, both aerial and land attack by the military? Or should we just, stamp them out completely, regardless of who is associated with them?
I should respond.
I believe so.
The thing is this: what is the meaning of bandit?
Okay.
When you call somebody a bandit, is this something positive? Is it not something that is against the Nigerian law? Is that not true? Am I right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
So if it's something that is something criminal, you get, then a criminal has to face the law and be chastised for it. He has to be punished for it. So you now want to go and negotiate with criminals.
Are they being perceived as criminals or just those with a different ideology?
Okay, so if I get a gun,
are they being perceived as criminals or those with a different ideology?
If I take a gun and I shoot somebody because the person insulted me, maybe insulted my mother, and I take a gun and I shoot him, if I face the law, what do you think the law will say? Because I'm aggrieved. You insulted my mother and I didn't like it because I love my mother so much and I shot the person. So what would the law say?
You tell me.
I've committed murder now.
Okay.
So if I've committed murder and he asked me the reason, I said because he insulted my mother, but the court let me go because the person insulted my mother and I had to shoot him. Of course, I've committed murder. Now this thing, let's come back to the bandits.
Okay.
Did they come on air to tell us that they are aggrieved for so and so reason? No, they committed crimes, and you are not telling them. You are not telling the Nigerian government that these people, they committed crime because they are aggrieved. Such a big crimes, even kill people because they are aggrieved. Therefore, go ahead and negotiate with them. Then the government should negotiate with every criminal. I don't know why we have people in the prison now.
You know,
they should have negotiated with everybody and let everybody go, because each person is agreed for doing an action. You can't just harm somebody for nothing. Somebody must have done. You must have a reason. You must be agreed before you can be violent. So then there should be no point.
I was actually getting to that. I wanted to ask you if there is any moral justification for people to perpetuate one evil or another. But anyway, you may also recall that last week Sheikh Gumi told the federal government that they should not, or rather this present government should not go back to toe the line of former President Buhari. That all he should do actually is to make sure that he did not use force on this particular people who you said now have a particular ideology on what they are championing and what they stand for. But now, my question to you now, Mr. Lawal, is this. Given the way insecurity and insurgency and bandits, farmer-settlers clashes have actually, bedeviled the country to the point it is now. Now, what do you think we need to do different? Because it's more like the military actually are not curbing this, even when they are doing their best to make sure they curb it. Now, do you think we need to toe the line of negotiation, to know if we can bring peace? Or what do you suggest we do?
Why didn't they go line of negotiation with the killings of the 12 soldiers, 16 soldiers in Okuoma? Is it Okuoma?
Yes.
Okuoma. Why did they go? Why did they not go and negotiate with the people?
You may also recall.
Why did they go there and begin to kill and burn the villages?
Bandits are they are staying in patches. They don't have a regular place where they stay.
See, let me tell you something. Anyone who commits a crime will normally want to escape. So in this Okuoma, in Delta State, the people who did it must have escaped. In fact, there was another story after that killed some police officers.
We're not looking at Delta State now. Let's not deviate.
I'm not deviation.
No, we're looking at banditry. We're looking.
I want to answer a question.
We're looking at the involvement of religious, the cleric in all of this, and what government is doing and what government should do in this regard. Now, we also do know that banditry has been proscribed in Nigeria. It's a terrorist. It's every form of banditry is a terrorist act against the state, against the nation.
So you now want to negotiate with
should the government be negotiating or be discussing with those that associate themselves with bandits, terrorism, basically?
No.
Okay.
Because you are encouraging others. If you do that, you will encourage others. That's what has been happening. Because they've been negotiating with them, they've been giving them. That's why the thing now become a business.
Is there a relationship between the banditry that we're seeing in certain parts of the country now and what happened in the Niger Delta some years back that led to amnesty being given? Is there a difference?
There's a difference.
Because the reason I ask is because Sheikh Gumi, the cleric, has repeatedly drawn comparison between what's happening in the Niger Delta, the amnesty that was given, and to banditry. And he has asked that bandits be given amnesty as well. Should Nigeria even consider any form of amnesty to those that have perpetrated the level of evil that these bandits have perpetrated, sacking villages, killing people, most times unprovoked?
Now, the difference between the two is that the Niger Delta, their land, this is where they live. This is where their land is. They have lands there. They are ancestral lands. So when the oil companies came and the federal government was controlling the area, their source of income was destroyed. And then they complained. In fact, they went to international court to report Nigerian government and the oil companies that see what they did to our land. We can't do anything. You can't even get water. If you drill the ground for water, you see that the water is is polluted. Their mainstay in that area, the economic mainstay is fishing.
Sure.
Fish have been destroyed. If you get what I'm saying, so the economy stayed, their land, everything polluted, and they came up. They even went to international community. They went to London. They went to file a case against Nigerian government and the same people in that area. So they came out. So when the government did not do anything, you get it, they had to fight back. I'm not saying what they did was right, but I'm telling you the difference. But let the bandits go to international, file their own case in court and tell us why they are doing what they are doing. So I will now know. Let them go to international court and file their case. So I will now see what exactly is going on. Why you have to kidnap children, kill people, and you continue doing it. They are faceless. You get it? And they are not coming out. Now, that is the difference between the two. Now, let me answer your question.
Okay.
About what do you think Nigeria is doing that is wrong and what they're supposed to do that is right. Nigeria is not doing the right thing. Because when you keep pampering a child, you get it, that is committing a delinquency, that child will continue. That is what is happening. You are negotiating with them and you are giving them money, and they live around your area. They are kidnapping, they are causing problem. They live within the area and you keep going there to negotiate with them. Of course, it's a business to them and they will continue. That is the aspect. The second one is that Nigerian security operatives are being curbed by the same government from doing adequate job. We have SSS, we have DSS. SSS and DSS, they have already gone out of their way. They have taken over the job of police by prosecuting politicians and taking them to court and showing their face. It's not in their jurisdiction. It's not, they are doing something that's unconstitutional, unlawful. They don't have the right to prosecute. But you see them coming out, dragging with them, this prison officer, dragging Emefiele with them. It's not your duty to do that. When you detain somebody, when SSS detain, they detain those people secretly. They question them. When they get enough evidence, they present it to the appropriate authority that will now prosecute them. Why they go back into hiding to get more evidences? But you see them dragging with and showing their faces so that what you are saying, the police will go and sit down. No, they should be called to order. This shows that the SSS is not doing their job. That's why you see those bandits around. Those are those areas. So those ones. Then the third one is this, which is the ultimate solution to all this problem.
Okay.
Go into resource control. We know, you see, when you go into resource control, the government of that state itself will fight the bandit. Because it knows that the moment they are not producing anything in their state, you get it, they will not be able to fund their government.
Now, I like to take you,
So the problem of resource control is the main problem why you have those bandits, because those states like in Niger State where the kidnappings is going on, the government is just not doing anything. Why? Because they know that there's going to be free money coming from somewhere. So even when we are not doing anything, even when nothing is coming out from our state, free money will still come. So we still run government with free money from another place where they are seriously working and suffering. We'll collect part of their gain.
All right. Now, quickly, the federal government released some names a couple of days ago, tagged to be the people financing terrorism in Nigeria. One of that name is Tuko Mamu. Oh, yeah, that's his name, Tuko Mamu. He was alleged to be the former spokesperson of the man that has been called in presently by the government, and I'm talking about Sheikh Gumi. Now, Sheikh Gumi, from all antecedents, is the one that has been in the middle of the federal government and the bandits in negotiating. He's come out to say several things about these guys, of course, asking the government not to toe the line of the former president. Now, two questions. First, Sheikh Gumi has been in consistent conversation with these people. The military, consistently as well, are still in the bush, trying to get these same people that Sheikh Gumi consistently is talking to. First question, is there the possibility that the military lack intelligence units enough to handle and end this terrorism and bandits in this part of the country? That's the first question. Second question, Sheikh Gumi being invited now, is this the right thing to do? Will it not spark up another level of unrest in this part of the country?
Can you remind me of that
First question.
Sorry.
Is the military lacking
Okay,
intelligence?
Thank you. See, the military is being restricted. Somebody must give military order to take action before they can take action. So if they are not taking action, even if they know what to do, you cannot do. You get it? That is the problem with the military. The military are being, restricted by the same government. You get? Military have enough firepower to take down these people. They have enough intelligence and whatever, but they are being restricted by the same government.
So what then? Before you answer the
Because
next question,
we have everybody is in the bush. The bandits in the bush, the military in the bush. They are looking at one another. Now, the military can go after the bandit, but the authority, the commanding, let me use the commanding chain, is preventing them. Don't go. Don't do anything. Then the bandits will now go, kidnap people, bring them, you get it, and then they will send Gumi to go and negotiate. While the militaries are just there, redundant, looking.
Why will you say so? Because we could remember that in Borno State, when the Boko Haram insurgent group began, the military actually was sent to, go meet them, and they were of the opinion that they don't really have enough weapons to match with the sophisticated ones the insurgent groups were using.
See, there are two ways in military get weapons.
All right.
It's either you buy it or you get it from your enemy. You get, if with enough intelligence, you can get weapons from your enemies. If you attack the enemy, you defeat them, you take their weapons. That is the two ways they get the weapon. They have enough. They have enough training to do that. But the Nigerian military is having problem because there's intelligence let me use the word moles in the military that is giving the bandits enough information to take down the military.
So are you trying to say that they are compromised now?
Yes, everybody. It was said since now, even the last administration, they were saying that the military have been compromised. There are most in the military. There are most in the government that give the bandits enough information to be able to, suppress the military.
Interestingly, the people at the very receiving end of this statement that you've just alleged now are the Nigerian people.
That's it now.
So what then should these people do? Because let's face it, they're also Nigerians like you and I, whether or not they're in the north, the east, wherever they are.
See, the problem with the Nigerian people, before I go to that, should I answer your second question?
Oh, my second question, yes.
Say it again, please.
Of course, my second question is picking or inviting Sheikh Gumi at this point the right thing to do?
I don't know.
Would it not spark up another level of unrest?
I don't understand why Nigerian government is doing things like this. The same problem, the same thing you are doing, you want to do to Gumi is the same thing you do to the Binance people. You invite them, you detain them, you now start investigation. Why do
we are not certain if he will be detained yet.
That's what I'm saying. That why do you want to question? That means you don't see. If you have enough information, the next thing we should be hearing is we have arrested Gumi, or we have declared Gumi wanted. We have enough information. You get it. The moment you now get him, you start your case against him. Not you now invite him. They invited him last. Do you know they invited him last?
I think the thing is when you are invited and you refuse to turn up, then you can be declared. You can be said to be yes. you're wanted, and then if they now get you, you can be arrested.
For what? If you are see, if the police invite you, you have you is at your discretion. You may decide not to come. It's an invitation.
When it comes
yes,
to
you can ask a lawyer. I'm telling you, you can be when they invite. It's an invitation. You may choose not to come.
If there's a court order attached.
Yes, then you now come now because when invitation means they want to investigate. So after the investigation, or they ask you one or two things, they don't see anything
anyway,
to hold you. They will release you to go
wrap
back
up
home.
This conversation. What are your expectations from whatever conversation Nigeria, the military, or the office of the National Security Advisor will be having with the cleric Sheikh Gumi?
I don't know. I don't know why.
What do you expect? What do you expect?
I don't know. But I don't. It's just I believe it's a waste of time.
You don't expect revelations to be made. You
No.
don't expect any answers to questions that have been on the minds of Nigerians.
It's not when you ask Guimu information, questions, that you get information. You're supposed to get your information outside. When you have compiled your.
Yeah, but the thing is, Nigerians have been saying, how is it that the cleric Sheikh Gumi has access to?
That's it. Why is Nigerian people talking this? Why is it not SSS
the
saying
police
this?
don't have access? But he has come out to say the military, the police, the security apparatus, the security architecture know where these guys are. He has come out to say they know
So
where they are.
why are you inviting him? You have already finished the story now.
You don't have any expectation whatsoever.
It's already. Yeah, see, let me tell you something. There's nothing wrong if you have not disobeyed the law. If you are an intermediary between two warring parties, that's what we call it diplomacy. We call it whatever. So if Gumi is an intermediary between the Nigerian government and the bandits, there's nothing wrong about that.
Okay.
But if Gumi is an associate, you get it, or is working with the bandits to kidnap or do whatever they want to do, then is a criminal.
But you know, he also did say that government releasing those names might be trying to give a dog, in quotes now. I'm not quoting him, but trying to give a dog a bad name so it can be hanged. Putting names of people that government wants to go after on a list and calling them terrorism financiers. Isn't that enough reason to want to question him? Is that something that he may know?
I don't think that's enough reason, because the government is drolling this whole thing.
Okay.
I'll use that word.
All right. We are absolutely out of time for this conversation. Well, let's go into the second one. CBN has approved $10,000 sale to Bureau de change operators to be sold at 1,251 naira to $1. And these operators are not supposed to sell beyond, I think, 15%.
1.5%.
1.5%.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's talk about this when we come back.
All right, welcome back. Now, the Central Bank of Nigeria has issued a circular to Bureau de change operators, notifying them of the sale of $10,000 to each BDC at an exchange rate of 1,251 naira to a dollar. According to the directive, each BDC is expected to sell the dollar to eligible customers
at a rate not exceeding 1.5% above the purchase price, which means they are and they should not sell above 1,269 naira to a dollar. Earlier in February, the CBN had announced its decision to sell foreign exchange worth $20,000 to each eligible bureau de change operator across the country. This development occurs more than 2 years after the former Central Bank of Nigeria, the governor, Godwin Emefiele, seized foreign exchange sales to bureau de change operators in that segment of the forex market. The new directive now confirms the reinstatement of dollar sales to bureau de change, that's the BDC operators, after a prolonged suspension by the central bank in 2021. Stay with us in the studio this morning is Mr. Lawal Kudayo, who is an educationist, a public affairs analyst, and yes, a farmer. Let's get to it almost immediately. So at this point, CBN is going back to its old law in 2021 of, selling to BDCs at a particular rate. Do you see this as a welcome development, and would it maybe help the naira gain some value against the dollar?
I was going to liken the bureau de change to bandits.
Why?
I was going to, because the question is, do we supposed to have bureau de change in the first place? We are supposed to have some people using dollar as a means, the sale of dollar as a means of income. You get it? That is what is causing the problem. We know the problem and we'll begin to manage it in Nigeria. We'll see the problem. This is the problem. Instead of us to stamp it out, we'll begin to manage, we'll begin to run around it and see how we can just a little here, a little there, a little here, a little there.
Isn't it a way to keep the crowd or keep the bank focused on other things? Because some people would rather go to the BDCs to sell their dollar as against going to the banks.
When there was no BDC, the dollar to naira exchange was very, very minimal.
So you think they have aided the
in
naira,
1950 something
against the
there was
naira.
no bureau de change, and the naira, the Nigerian money was greater than dollar. In 1960 something, I think, was it up to 60 something to 70? I think Nigerian money was greater than the dollar, and there was no bureau de change.
So are you now
in 1970 to 80?
Are you now insinuating
it was still until they begin to give these people approval?
Operators have their operations basically have empowered the dollar against the naira.
Yes, that's it.
You don't think it's because of the fact that Nigeria is not a producing country?
See, forget about that. That is totally wrong. I keep telling people to stop saying that. It's totally wrong. Because Dubai is a desert. Saudi Arabia is a desert.
They have oil.
There are so many countries that are deserts.
They have oil.
And they're not. So we don't have oil here. Are you telling me we don't have oil here?
Go ahead, please.
Excuse me. Holland, ordinary milk is what they are sustaining.
No, you're talking about Dubai and.
So I'm coming. Okay. Yes. Now look at Dubai.
But they get inflow of dollars.
That's what I'm saying. Come see, in their own, they will never tolerate things like this. They will not. What do you mean bureau de change? You can't get to all this country and you see bureau. Why would you trade in dollar? Is it a business? Because the moment you make it a business, you want to maximize profit. That's what you don't know. A businessman, in capitalism, you maximize profit. The moment you make dollar foreign exchange a business, it falls into the capitalism era. You get what I'm saying? And when it gets into the capitalism area, they maximize profits. And how do they maximize profit? At every means they can. By hoarding it, you get it, by any means they can, because they want to maximize profit. This is now a business. That's why we are having all these things. Dubai that you are saying now, in 1970 something, where was Dubai? In 1970 something to 80 something, Nigeria was assisting South Africa. Do you remember the apartheid era?
Oh, but David was trying to say something that, you know, don't you think it's because we are not exporting enough? And then, you know, you export commodities and then you bring in foreign exchange. Dubai that you're mentioning.
Tell me what they are exporting.
Well, they have tourism.
See,
they have
you are
tourism.
talking about
so foreign
now.
exchange is coming
Moses, you are talking about now. Talk about how they started.
Tell me how they started.
See, Dubai, what they did was that they tried to make their country as attractive as possible to the Western countries. Okay. So the Western countries, they came there and put their investment down.
Okay.
They put their investment down, and they help them to structure their country.
Help me relate this to the strengthening of the naira against the dollar.
Very good. I have used the word capitalism.
Okay.
The moment you make this foreign exchange a business, it falls into the realm of capitalism, and a capitalist will always want to maximize profit. That's why in other countries they don't allow this foreign exchange to become something like a business. If you want to do it as a business, you can't be within the country and do it as a business.
All right, so can the government of Nigeria, can the CBN now stamp out BDC operators from street corners and let every Nigerian go into the banking hall to buy and sell?
It's easy to regulate
dollars.
the banks. The bank is a corporate organization. They have international image.
The economy one way or another.
See, before we have
because Nigerians would rather buy from the BDCs than from the bank.
Do you know why?
The little interest that you get.
Do you know why they do that? Because the bank, I have seen the bank, when you get to the bank that you want to buy dollar, you say there's no dollar.
Exactly.
And you see, I've seen it in my presence here. So I've seen it in banks in which they will tell somebody there's no dollar, and you see a bureau de change coming with dollar to give it to the bank. Or you see them going to the bank, they will you are there on the counter, they will tell you, they will just tell the bureau, okay, they will go in and bring the same dollar that they are telling somebody beside you, there's no dollar, they will give you to the bureau de change, you will go with it. Some will come with the dollar and give it to the bank, and the bank will tell the person who has come directly to the bank that there's no dollar. I have seen it many times, and then you have to go to the bureau de change. Now, when you go to the bureau de change, the bureau de change will increase the money. Now, the same bank, because they don't want to put the small interest on it that are the official one, they know through the bureau de change, they can put more, the bureau de change can make more money if you go there. So that if they give it to the bureau de change, the bureau de change will have to give them back the official rate, while the remaining one will go unofficial into the pocket of the bank administrators. That's the way they run it. That's why you see them having so much money.
Mr. Law, talking about the money, the BDC and the central bank, there's an undertone among the Nigerian citizens where there was the opinion that the central bank at this point is deviating from what they need to do to make sure that dollar actually not just stabilize to this 1,000 it is, but it to actually come down. I'm talking about the amount of dollar.
Less than 100.
You know, because they were also pointing out the past administration and even during the time of the PDP led government, where a dollar is to 160, a dollar is to 200. Now, do you think, looking at the way Nigerian economy is now, do you think we are going to get to that point again where a dollar will be equivalent to like 100 and something?
See, this is a man-made. This is the crisis we are having in Nigeria is man-made. When something is man-made, that means it's solvable. You get it? It's man-made. Everybody knows that it's man-made. You get? Look at the government itself that is trying to control the exchange rate. All of them fly abroad. You get it? For medical tourism, for so many other things, their children schooling abroad and so many other things. So are they sending naira there? Is it not the same dollar that we say is scarce that they are spending? So if you want to control something, and you yourself, you are not even controlling it. So how will you control it from how?
But you know, before now, previous administration, they still travel abroad. Yes, people still travel. Before this particular time, they were facing a dollar to be at 1,000 and something.
I told you in 1960 something or 1950 something, 60 something, the Nigerian money was greater than the dollar. You get it? It was greater than, in fact, the difference between Nigerian money and the British pound was so small.
Let's bring this to perspective.
So how did it come to the level where it's man-made? So it can be solved.
Let's bring this to perspective. You just mentioned 1960 something, the dollar and the naira, 60 something, 1970 something,
60 something.
the dollar, the pounds, the naira were
So
almost
close. Yes.
Let's also bring to the fold that within that period, there were quite a lot of textile companies in this country. There are some major companies also, like I know Cadbury, I know some other companies that have currently left.
Yes, yes.
We are not producing. And you said that it is not a yardstick for Nigerian naira to go weakened against the dollar. If you are not producing, how are you supposed to export?
Okay, thank you very much. See, if you look at the countries of the world, and you look at their exchange rate to dollar, you see that there are so many countries that are not even doing as good as Nigeria. They are even so poor, and you don't see the rate at which the dollar is increasing.
Maybe
increase in their own
countries.
I saw a list before, but I forgot. Even in Africa,
right.
You see, there was let me give you a good one. Benin Republic here. Last month, I went to that Agbara side. I wanted to buy crayfish. Okay. So they now, gave me a high price, and I said, but this thing is not. Why is it high? That they said, that's somebody who's not educated. You were selling this crayfish. They said that the naira has lost value. That they buy this thing from Benin, and our money, that naira, has no value in Benin. Okay. Do you get what I'm saying? They said these are illiterate.
So we basically import crayfish.
No, that's maybe that one is from the one of that one's from Badagry. Okay, you get it. You see, have in Oyibo here and some other area. But at that place, they were telling me that the naira has lost value. That is why the price increased. So that they are saying that even against the Benin currency, Nigerian money is losing value. That's Benin here.
Okay.
What do you attribute to that? What are you attributing to that loss in value?
So that what I'm saying is that it is not a case of import or export. You get it? It's a deliberate case to weaken the naira.
Now,
Some people, it's a man-made that people you get it's a man-made problem. It's within the country.
Can you help us out with this man-made factors you're pointing to be the reason naira
you made the money, you made a foreign exchange a capital, you put it under capitalism. That is one of the problems. You put it under capitalism. So people now use it as a means of, instead of them to go into proper businesses, they now use it as a means to make money.
Sorry to interrupt you. Sorry to interrupt you. Now, with this move by the CBN, with trying to put a cap to it, that the naira against the dollar should not be sold beyond a certain amount. Will that in any way help solve the problem of speculation that has over time affected the naira against the dollar?
Can you give me one of the speculations?
Speculators basically go on applications like Binance and decide to act like they want to buy naira at a certain amount, and then it goes up, and then they sell. There have been speculators that make whose actions affect the currency. Now, Nigerians have been clamoring that speculators themselves be restricted from perpetrating their evil, which of course is affecting the currency.
Sir.
Will this move by CBN curtail the activities of speculators? Because as it is now, a speculator cannot come and say, okay, for whatever reason, maybe due to one thing or the other, a dollar will be going for 1,400 naira.
See,
because there has been a peg.
See, even that
Sorry.
peg
Don't you think
is
so?
not the best option.
Okay.
Okay.
That capping is not the best option. If you want to cap it at 100 naira. We will not say you
Is
are
that
making
realistic?
sense.
Is
Why
that
no, see,
realistic?
when you cap something, you are telling them you cannot go beyond this area. So what they will do is that, even if it comes down, they will push it to this extreme end because you have given them opportunity to remain here. Even if there's an opportunity to bring that to 500 naira to $1, they will push it to that 1,200 because you have given them opportunity to remain at this peak. That is the problem with the capping. So it will not work. You know what they will do? They will simply hold it. That is why there are two areas where you can get dollar, foreign exchange. You get it from the official rate, you get it from the unofficial rate. So that's why they call the unofficial rate the black market. They will simply switch it to the black market. How? They will simply tell you, okay, you want dollar, the official rate is not available. Somebody will now come and tell you, say, hey, come.
Now, but
do you really want dollar?
Case now,
do you want to buy it?
The
I have one
CBN
for
is making the BBC
naira. I know $1,000. I'm not going to buy
an
it.
official rate. That's the point I'm trying to make here. In this particular case, the CBN is making the BDC rate an official rate.
See, that's why I told you
that is why there is a cap.
Okay, tell me, what's the meaning of black market?
Do you tell me?
You are educated now. You carry something in your ear to
But
show that
you've been the one
in
talking
control.
about black market. So you tell me.
See, black market exists in almost all sectors. Even in agriculture, you come across black market. Black market means you are buying it outside.
We're not trying to define black markets, are we? We're trying to look
If you don't know the definition, how do you know how to handle it? See, you have two markets. You have the official market, you have the black market. That is the unofficial market, which you call black market. Somebody said you now want to buy $1. You need 10,000. You need $1,000. You went to the official market. They said, we don't have up to that $1,000, so we only have $500.
Well, you seem to be repeating yourself, but I was expecting that
you know what I'm telling you.
Okay.
I am telling you the difficulties that this CBN, what they put on ground, will face. That eventually will still come back to the same problem again. Okay. Scarcity. They will simply create scarcity now. When they create scarcity, you go to the black market to get it. So if they tell you this thing, you that is a businessman, you are a businessman, you need dollar. You find you now discover that you are buying it at the black market at a higher rate. So your price will still go up.
Mr. Lawale Kunda,
I'm talking about practical reality.
You are an educationist. So I do believe you are educated. Yes. And do you believe that we're talking about these black markets, these operators, being regulated?
Can you regulate black market?
Isn't that what the CBN is doing?
See, CBN is only telling you.
So you don't agree that putting a peg or putting a cap to the limits they can sell is regulation?
I'm not saying it's not regulation.
What are you saying?
I'm saying
is it regulation?
It's not the best move.
Is it a form of regulation?
It's a form of regulation.
Thank you.
Now, Mr. Lawal, when you were actually talking, you made mention of the commercial banks sometimes telling people, Mr. Nigeria, that there's no dollar, whereas there's dollar and all that. And now you're also saying something about the cap that CBN put on the exchange rate of dollar to naira, that it is not going to work or it is not going to help. Now, who are we going to blame? Are you trying to say that Nigerians actually are the ones, the architect of our problems?
Yes, Nigerian government is the architect of Nigerian problem.
Nigerian governments are not the ones buying dollars from these commercial banks. I hope you understand
that. It's the duty of the government.
And also Nigerian governments are not the ones going to. So who are we going to?
It's the duty of the government to make sure everything works for us. You get what I'm saying? I am talking here now. I'm a guest. I'm talking. You are regulating me. If you don't regulate me, I'll just keep talking and talking and talking. You must regulate me. That's why you are the head here now. You are the host. So the Nigerian government is the host, is the head. So it's want to regulate everybody. The question I'm saying, why are you empowering some people as a business to use the foreign exchange as a means of income? If you do that, they will maximize profits. It is in the realm of capitalism. Capitalists always maximize profits at any means possible.
So we should take away the BDCs. Is that what you're trying to say?
Take it away.
Would that actually make the naira?
I'm telling you, it will
dollar
crash the naira straight. If you do that,
No,
it will simply
no.
crash it. You know why?
No,
Because you know you are not getting it anywhere except the bank. And the bank is a corporate organization that has a face. So it is seriously regulated compared to DBN. So it is easy to get them and find them. You can even show, you get what I'm saying? If you discover that a bank did not follow the due process, you will find them so heavily that they will not be able to do that again.
Now,
but you can't do that to build a change.
It's interesting that you just mentioned now that when you stop the BDCs, the naira is going to gain value.
Seriously.
The same naira that was devalued just last year, right? And as I speak to you, inflation is at an all-time rise in Nigeria. Now, if inflation is at an all-time rise and the country is not producing, I am wondering where you are practically thinking that the total eradication of the BDCs is going to raise the dollar, I beg your pardon, raise the naira against the dollar. Now, my question to you is very simple. Nigeria is not producing.
Not enough. Use the word enough.
Okay, so maybe you need to help us with what we're producing as a nation.
And exporting.
And exporting, yes.
I'll tell you. Nigeria is exporting, but you may say it's not enough. We are exporting oil. We all know that. One, which Dubai is also exporting.
Yes. Yes.
See, there are so many products in Nigeria that are exported to the eastern and the northern Africa. I have seen it when I traveled to Maiduguri to do a contract for a company.
Okay.
And I saw
Products
it.
like what and what?
Detergents. Even Go-Go. I saw where you know this Go-Go sweet. Go-Go sweet. That's Go-Go sweet. Round sweet in nylon like this.
Locally made.
Yes, in Nigeria, made by this
Is it not made from
Yale. This Yale confectionaries.
Okay.
In Ibadan.
Yeah, well, let's not mention brands.
Okay, sorry. Okay, because of you don't want to market for them, they are not paying for it. They are not paying for it. Now, so many products are exported out of this country. When they bring this in from the west or the east or wherever they are producing, they move it to the north and then they load it on pickups. And with that pickup, they send it. I saw it with my eyes. I didn't go to that. They are going to Kenya. They are going to this and that and then goes. Now we export cement, which Dangote is producing. We export cement across the Western Africa to some countries in the Eastern Africa. Do you know what we export? You get it. The owner of cement is the richest man in Africa.
I think you're actually mixing it up because you just mentioned company names.
No. See,
that
I'm
are
talking
not
about what we are exporting.
Federal governments.
No. I'm coming. We are talking about what we are exporting.
Okay.
I'm not aware whether federal government or not federal government. I'm mixing everything together to let you know we are exporting.
Right.
Now, we are exporting rubber products in Nigeria. We are exporting cocoa in Nigeria. We are still exporting it. You don't know.
Okay.
We are still exporting these things. Now, we are exporting some other products, but what we are exporting is declining. I agree with you. If you use the word, we are not exporting enough. I will agree with you. Because I've done research on this as well that we are exporting. That's why I was able to compare what we are exporting with some other countries that are growing. Like Dubai, I look at the foundation, the beginning of Dubai. And that's why Dubai growing with only one thing. And Nigeria has so many and we are declining.
Have you been able to identify what Nigeria gains from exports as comparison to what Nigeria spends?
Good. That is where you are coming. Now, we divide it into two. We have the government spending and where the individual spending. The individual spending, maybe you want to fly abroad, you want to do business, that's individual spending.
Is that comparison? Is it some comparison between individual spending and what we spend?
I'm coming. The individual spending, then you have the government spending. Now, if the individual is using it for business, you are flying up for business, that is meaningful. But when you see government spending and you are traveling abroad for something that you can do in Nigeria, you are using the foreign exchange to travel abroad and do the same thing, that is not good. You get it? Those are the two separations. So you have those two problems. There's those two. Then the third one is people using it as business, capitalism. Those are the three tiers of the problem of why dollar is increasing.
So once again, your solution to the problem is what?
One, phase out Bureau de change.
Okay.
Two, curb the federal government unnecessary frivolous spending on the dollar. You get it?
Okay.
Such as flying abroad for medical tourism,
Okay.
and some other tourism and whatever.
The individuals do that too.
But it's minimal. What do they spend? Then three,
Individuals is minimal too.
whatever whatever we want to use business the dollar for, that is what the CBN has to do.
You also do know that some organizations in Nigeria have been accused of making people pay in dollars as against the naira.
Doing what?
Transactions in dollars.
But the federal government is also, see, the government is, do you remember the convention? Do you remember the conventions? The convention that, the last convention of this present administration, that they accuse them of giving dollars to their delegates, giving dollars to delegates here and there.
Yes.
That is frivolous. That has no meaning.
Okay. So to wrap this up now, your conclusion to this conversation.
Good. One, to make the dollar, if you remove the cap first,
Okay.
it is meaningless.
Okay.
Remove the cap. Two, phase out Bureau de change, so that you can phase out capitalism controlling the dollar exchange.
All right.
Three, the unnecessary use of dollars by the federal government should also be phased out. If it is for medicals, bring those medical equipment down to Nigeria, bring the experts down to Nigeria, and then pay them. You get it? In naira. No, you know why? Because when you pay them in naira, because they live in naira, they live in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Most of what their needs will be in naira. It's only little they will repatriate. But when you pay them in dollar, they will be exchanging in dollar. They will believe that dollar is the only way they can be paid. But when you pay them in naira, for them to go and exchange, it is only what they want to repatriate that they will. So it will be a minute quantity.
All right.
That they will need.
All right, then. Big thanks to you, Lawale Kundaya, for staying with us on the program. Thank you for your thoughts and your view. We honestly do appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
All right, we'll take a break now. When we come back, we'll have business, and that will be followed by entertainment and sports. Stay with us, VOP This Morning. We'll be right back.
From the views on the street
We go to bed empty hunger.
to the blaring horns of a hustling city, the loudest voices of the common man got a medium to be heard.
This particular administration, they were coming unprepared.
It's not a bad thing to renovate the president's lawn.
Through top-notch programming, unbiased reportage of news, sports, business, entertainment, and cultural documentaries, Voice of the People 90.3 FM became a symbol for 21st century media. And now, a new baby is born. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV, youthful, full of vigor and penchant for excellence in the continent's media space, exposing the wrongs, applauding the rights, dissecting the news without fear or favor, through factual and accurate stories and contents.
Corruption kills three things and makes a society.
Representing the interests of the people and giving them a voice. Voice of the People TV is here to stay towards building a fair society. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television, truly a voice for the people.
Hi, Zara.
Ramon, come and help me. You can sell her now. Be able to break our fast in this village. Ramon, have this. This is what you have to do. You understand? This is what you have.
Zara.
Ramadan, watan samladan.
Ramon, me haka. Gasina di kita lalace haba Ramon.
Oh, don't worry. Things don't matter. It can be wiped off with just one wash.
Okay, thank you.
Sarah.
Ramadan Kareem.
It's Ramadan. It's the season of sharing and caring. As Muslim faithfuls all over the world pray and fast, may peace reign all over, especially in troubled regions. Allah's blessing to us all. May the supplication of every sincere heart be heard. Ramadan Kareem, from all of us at Voice of the People Television.
All right, welcome back. This is VOP this morning, and let's get into the world of business. Nigeria's stock market commenced the week on a negative trajectory, with the Nigeria Exchange Limited (NGX) all-share index and equities market capitalization experiencing a decline of 0.49% or 289 billion naira. Now, this downturn comes as investors await the outcome of the ongoing Monetary Policy Committee meeting, which holds significant implications for market sentiment and investment decisions. Well, analysts had anticipated a cautious market sentiment, citing potential profit-taking actions and subdued trading activities amidst anticipation of the MPC's decision. But notable declines were observed in the spheres of Dangote Sugar Refinery, PLC, reflecting investor sentiment amid prevailing market uncertainties. Amidst the cautious market sentiments, investors are keenly awaiting the outcome of the MPC meeting, where key decisions regarding monetary policy direction will be made. The MPC's decisions are expected to influence investor sentiment, market liquidity, and economic outlook, particularly in the context of inflationary pressure and exchange rates dynamics. Investors are closely monitoring developments in both domestic and global economic landscape, with a focus on policy response and market indicators. Well, the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has communicated its decision to sell $10,000 to each Bureau de Change operator at a rate of 1,251 naira to $1. Now, this move follows the Apex Bank's announcement of resuming dollar sales to BDC operators after a prolonged ban, signaling efforts to enhance liquidity in the foreign exchange market and stabilize exchange rate dynamics. The directive aims to address forex shortages and alleviate pressure on the naira, providing relief to forex users amidst lingering exchange rate pressures. And lastly, Aliko Dangote, through the Aliko Dangote Foundation, has allocated approximately 15 billion naira towards a food intervention program aimed at addressing hunger and economic challenges across Nigeria. The initiative involves the distribution of over 1 million bags of rice to beneficiaries across the country's 774 local government areas. Speaking at the official launch of the program, Dangote emphasized the importance of compassion and solidarity, particularly during the holy month of Ramadan. The intervention underscores the foundation's commitment to supporting government efforts in alleviating poverty and promoting food security nationwide. Now, the food intervention program represents a significant investment in social welfare and community development. Well, Dangote's philanthropic commitment is to uplift vulnerable population and, enhance livelihood as well. All right, these are the business stories that we have for you at this time. We'll take a break now. When we come back, the very beautiful, delectable Chisom will be taking us into the world of entertainment. Cheesy.
Morning on VOP TV, we have Chisom and Naya in the studio for the entertainment news. Good morning, Chisom. I love the fact you're smiling.
Good morning,
Cheesy.
Oh,
nice one.
Good morning, Mr. Moses.
Oh,
good morning,
goodness,
Mr.
good morning.
It's so good to see you.
Yeah. I'm so happy. I'm happy that you're here.
Yes, I am too. All right, let's move right into entertainment. Now, Nollywood actor and politician Kenneth Okonkwo has revealed the only reason why he will ever feature in a movie again. The actor revealed that he left the movie industry for politics in order to save Nigeria from ruin. He stated that his political activities leave little or no time for acting, and he will only go back to act if Nigeria becomes better than America. He added that Nigeria has all it takes to be better than America, including the money, materials, and men. But the only thing lacking is the power to combine these resources to achieve the goal. However, Kenneth Okonkwo maintains his stand to turn down his passion for movie so that he will fight for a new Nigeria. Well, Mr. David, fighting for a new Nigeria and dropping out, movies, do you agree with that? Like leaving one passion for the other?
Well, it's another passion that he's chased, and I totally agree with him. Nigeria has the material, the men, the wherewithal to be greater than some of the nations around the world.
Yeah.
But of course, it all starts with you and I getting committed to doing it better from our little space and to the bigger stage. I really don't want to say it's just about the politicians who are in the political space alone. No, it has to trickle down from us to the people there. We're a reflection of those guys up there. So it's just what it is.
Okay, all right. Oh, well, let's move to another story. Nigerian cross-dresser Bobrisky won the Best Dressed Female Award at a movie premiere in Lagos, receiving a cash prize of 1 million naira. This decision sparked reactions, with people questioning why a trans woman should win the Best Dressed Female prize over women. Nollywood actor Ugezu expressed his anger, noting that many people in the country have lost it. In his words, how can a man win the prize of the best dressed female in an event organized by human beings? He added that it's a slap on women's faces, and event organizers and the people of Nigeria need to do better. Afina, your facial expression is giving, confusion. How do what do you think about this? I'll first start with Nigerians who actually give room for cross-dressing, although that is also a form of content creation and all that. But believe me, I think I have to actually be with Ugezu on this.
Yes.
If we say we're running a category, female best dressed, I think you should actually be with female. Even if you're a cross-dresser, you shouldn't come in as a female to come and be in that particular category. So I think I will also fault the organizers. If they say female, we mean female. We don't mean she. We mean she.
The guy don't call us. Say you go do it him now. They go do a
No. Imagine
my guy, Bobrisky.
Imagine when they say we're doing male support, right? Imagine what we're doing male categories, and some people will
you
be
dress
like,
more than you, right?
No, that if we say we're running category, it should be category.
If we go for an event and I
sports,
dress like a guy,
and you're fine now.
Who say both cannot come and run with Toby?
Win the win.
David in sports. You can't wake up and say Usain Bolt be in the same weight. It doesn't make sense.
So let's not make
sense. If we say female are the ones who call for this category,
I don't think we should pay too much attention to this. As far as I'm concerned, I think those that have allowed people like what's his real name now?
Idris Okuneye.
Idris, yes. Idris Okuneye, who at birth was male.
Yes.
To thrive, those that have allowed him to thrive are those that give him space in their blogs, in their media.
Right.
I will not be one of those people.
Oh well.
I will not be one of those people that would. It goes to show how fallen a people we have become. You know, we talk about laws, we talk about cross-dressing, we talk about homosexuality being against the law, but then we also celebrate those things on the side. You know, so we are a nation that is confused.
Yeah.
And we have laws that we don't even uphold. It's I feel for those that attended that event. I feel for the women. I feel for the women.
Yeah.
All right, the women that attended that event, and I mean, I saw posts on social media. I have friends in other media outfits that were also very upset that this even made it to to the dailies. This happened at all, and it's embarrassing to say the least. It's embarrassing.
I really don't want to
a cross-dresser will be celebrated like this. You know what is? I don't want to go really.
How about
right now?
We're not. No, it's not content.
Don't tell me that.
It's not content.
Don't tell me that.
You know,
I agree with you.
We're out of time.
You know what? Right. That's all we have for entertainment right now. Because
Because the sports, and David Edwin will be coming over the sports.
David has used up his time.
He will tell us content during the sports.
We'll be back in a bit.
We're back after this quick break for the news, the sports news. Stay with us.
Audio Jungle.
All right, quickly, let's just dive into sports. Now, the anticipation for a second consecutive win with the team is keenly felt by Super Eagles interim head coach Tinubu George. Now, Finidi Center comments positively as the Super Eagles narrowly defeated internal rivals Ghana last weekend. Now, the three-time African champions are set to face off against the Eagles of Mali in the second friendly at the Stade de Marrakesh on Tuesday. Unfortunately for the upcoming game, the Super Eagles will be without Franco Yeka, Calvin Bassey. Additionally, fitness concerns have sidelined players such as Victor Osimhen, Taiwo Awoniyi, Tyrone Eboye, and Gabriel Shaw, preventing them from joining the team for the two friendlies. Now, despite these setbacks, we need to emphasize that dwelling too much on the absence of these players is not an option. Well, let's also let you know that Super Falcons coach Randy Waldrum has named the squad to face South Africa. All of this you would get on the sports program Sports Republic by 11 a.m. West African time. That's about it for sports, and of course, that's about it on the show. Thank you very much for being here. My name is David Edwin.
And Fino Kichuku telling you enjoy the rest of your day and try to be a patriotic citizen, please.
All right, and big ups to Senegal for electing what we have come to appreciate as the youngest president in Africa.
Yeah.
Faye. We are, thumbs up to the people of Senegal. Right. I'm Moses Humphrey wishing you a beautiful day. Bye for now.